What's good, YouTube? I'm back with another video. Today we'll react to Nick Crowley, the darkest kids TV shows ever made. We're gonna be doing this into two parts. The first part probably gonna be like 20 minutes, the first 20 minutes, but let's get straight into this. Yeah, all the warnings and
It's
stuff.
the winter of
What the heck? And all the warnings and stuff. This is GTA, all that. Yeah, GTA.
1985. A family living in a remote region of the Philippines receives a package at their door, which contained a single VHS tape and a note stating that the contents were for the children of the house. And so the kids were gathered up one by one and sat in front of the television, where the tape began to play, introducing them to a brand new show called
Life with Grandpa.
This was the experience for hundreds of kids across the world, made to watch a seemingly harmless puppet show about a grandpa and his family, with most of the young viewers
Yeah, it's some decent tunes. I like the tunes.
gladly watching this episode and the many others that would be sent later on, over and over again, blissfully unaware that what they were being shown would someday come to be known as one of the most disturbing rabbit holes in the history of children's media.
Wow.
This is the story of Life with Grandpa, the darkest kids show ever made.
Waited my whole life to see a total
Okay, we're
eclipse.
starting
Now
off.
streaming
All
on
right.
Hallmark Plus.
Did I even
Nice
read the
go.
title? I'm not
Do you
even
mind
sure if
if
I
I-
read the title, y'all.
Ever made.
Yeah, I think I did. Darkest Kids TV shows ever made. Yeah. I always remember that.
Can I persuade you to subscribe?
Before we dive any further down this rabbit hole, I want to first thank today's video sponsor, new physical sim on screen right now. Unsurprisingly, the main character of the crew was Grandpa, who acted as the show's host, often being the one to teach the episode's central messages not only to his on-screen family, but to all the kids watching at home.
But it's my kite.
But wouldn't you like to pray that some poor little boy who
This
doesn't
had to
have
be like, when was this made? This is so like, I can't even tell.
so many toys and blessings as you
I know
do
it's old as hell
will
though.
find your kite?
Yes, Grandpa.
As he was made to be a wise, almost religious-like figure, whose words were never questioned. Often seen by his side was his wife, Mother Maria, though for as often as she's shown, she rarely has much to say.
Yes, thank the Lord for such a good, sweet boy.
Typically only chiming in when she's reiterating Grandpa's messages to the children. And of the children,
Okay, so how is this going dark? Because it just seems like a great, I'm not gonna lie, it seems so, like, so good, I don't know, like.
there was
I see.
Davida, Techi, and Davidito, with the latter being one of the show's central figures, landing right next to or potentially even ahead of Grandpa in terms of screen time, as Davidito often got his own segments and told his own stories directly to the audience.
Hello, children. Would you like to hear some exciting prayer adventures? This first story happened when I was very small.
And though it's never outright stated, it's clear that Davidito was put on a pedestal, with the child often getting special treatment and being showered in gifts, as the family clearly seemed to favor him.
Thank you, Uncle Al.
It's called a kite.
We want to give you a little.
Is this like gonna be like some type of representation of like a real life family? If so, this could be messed up. Like they're treating another kid bad. Was there another one? Well, I think there was.
Surprise because you were such a good witness.
This brand new tape recorder is for
Yeah,
you.
the daughter.
Thank you, Jesus.
That's the
With
daughter
there
right
never
there.
being an explanation as to why. This is the core group of Life with Grandpa, with the only other reoccurring characters being Aunt Sarah and Uncle Elf, a couple that was often shown around the house helping look after the kids. And despite this looking like something pulled straight from the depths of the uncanny valley, the content within the show didn't really seem all that troublesome.
Yeah, I was just like, yeah. I'm not gonna hold you. It looks off, but I'm just like, yeah, okay, it looks off. It's old, of course, but in that regard, I'm like, okay, and it seems good too, in a sense of the way they're talking. I
In
guess.
fact, it appeared fairly normal, and not too unlike the many other low-budget religious shows of the time, highlighting themes like obedience,
Nothing short of right is right.
Yes, so the right thing is...
To obey.
sharing,
Good morning, Davida. I have a surprise for you. Oh, can I see it? I would like to share my cars with you. Which ones do you like?
and loving everyone.
That's really sweet of you, David. Thank you for that nice, generous present.
What present?
That nice kiss A kiss makes a real beautiful gift or present.
Though mixed within
Okay.
these fairly standard teachings, you'll find other moments that are far more unusual.
Okay, I'll wait for this. Okay, thank you. It's been like I'm like, okay, they nice. Okay, I get it, they nice. Okay, but like there has to be something else that we're watching this video for. They can't just be nice. There's no way.
Don't run down that gravel hill. Davida!
Okay.
Oh, Davida.
She's bleeding, and her cut is all covered with dirt.
And I don't even have a tissue to wipe it with. I'll just have to lick it clean and spit out the dirt.
The show featured a lot of strange underlying themes that seemed to have nothing to do with religion, or at least not the conventional beliefs of Christianity, with one of the
That's not. It's not. Ain't that just like a segue though? I mean, like, just like some humor. We gotta get into more
obvious
darker
being its
parts.
unprompted disdain for doctors.
We'll have to really pray that there won't be a scar.
There has to be something deeper
Soon
than this.
afterwards, there was no sign at all of the deep gash on Davida's forehead. Surely a doctor would have stitched it, but our God is still a God of miracles. Praise the Lord.
Okay.
As well as its constant endorsement of spanking.
Jesus spanks us because he loves us and wants us to obey
What?
and be good.
Okay, now you should have showed this. No. Now this is where it gets weird. No, everything else was okay. Yeah, you could get away with that. It's not really that bad. I mean, it wasn't really nothing too crazy. Okay, y'all did a little segue, a little comedy segue there. Okay. What the fuck is this? This is a kid show. Wait, wait.
We're really sorry. So if the Lord should spank you a little bit or correct you, it's for your own good. It's because he loves you and wants you to be good and obey.
And while these are certainly strange, by far the most glaring indication that Life with Grandpa wasn't just your typical kids show came from the program's stance on women, with the first major example coming from a song made for the young girls watching on.
Wait, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm
What?
ready.
I'm just
'cause-
selling some of my
yeah, I'm
old
ready,
gold
'cause-
jewelry at the pawn shop.
Girl, no. That's
Yeah,
like selling your...
cause okay, that one was a little bit more. Yeah, what the freak is going on here?
On women, with the first major example coming from a song made for the young girls watching on.
So do the dishes and clean the floor, and God can show us something more. I'm ready for any job at all,
Oh my
whether
goodness.
it's great or whether it's small. I'm ready to go, ready to
You could
stay,
tell
ready
it.
my place to
Hey, you could tell this was a different time. Y'all would have been canceled in 2 seconds flat. Oh my goodness. Y'all would have got in today's age. They wouldn't even. The song wouldn't even made it, bro. Like the song would have probably got banned. Like you wouldn't even get like. Like, bro, this is oh my goodness.
ready for service, slowly or great, ready
It's
to do
over.
God's will.
You're over.
The message behind this song is clear. If you're a woman, then it's your job to cook, clean, and have babies.
Yeah,
and
you're
that's about
over.
it, as this is God's will and your sole purpose for existing. And while this ideology was certainly not as controversial at the time, the show took it even further, as it hammered home this idea to all the children watching on by repeating one line at the end over and over again.
Trust and obey, for there's no other way. Trust and obey, for there's no other way. Trust and obey, for there's no other way.
Making it clear that this was a lesson that the showrunners didn't want these kids to question. But as comically offensive as this song is, it was far from the worst that the show had to offer.
There's more.
It's time for our electric
I wonder if there's just gonna be like something that's just crazier than the rest. Cause so far it's just been things that's just like, you know, it's bad, but like what can you really do about it? You know, it's just like okay, they were saying a few things. They weren't I guess it's weird. I don't know how to explain it. It's not enough. It's basically, you know, you got the motive, but you ain't got enough evidence to convict them. That's the best way I can put it. The best metaphor. You got the motive, but you ain't got enough evidence to convict them.
In another episode, we're shown a musical number about Grandpa, who's portrayed as a scientist that's always busy working, though the song is really less about him and more about his love interest.
Okay.
Watch her click and spin. Ooh, yeah.
A robot with long hair and nude female breasts.
Yeah. I'm like, it's a child show, right? Is there? No, just
It's
no.
one of the most surreal things that I've ever seen on a kid's show, as this thing was clearly meant to be a portrayal of Grandpa's wife and women in general, likening them to robots. Though unlike the previous demeaning song, this number is blatantly perverted, as it not only shows the robot having breasts,
Yeah, I'm not gonna
but it
hold
also
you,
shows Grandpa fondling them as well. And these perversions weren't even exclusive to its imagery.
What's in his key? That's when she gets excited.
It's shocking for so many reasons, but mainly due to the
Wait.
fact that
What's in his key? That's when she gets excited.
Am I tripping on thinking that means what I think it means?
It's shocking for so many reasons, but mainly due to the fact that this was on a show that was literally made for toddlers and young children, who are now being shown this clearly explicit content. And most disturbing of all
Right,
is
I'm
the
not gonna
realization
hold
that
you,
this
gang.
sexualized
It's just like the other stuff. Yeah, like I said, this is a little bit more evidence. You feel me? Because it's just like, what the fuck are you doing? That can really get you packed. That should get you packed up. That right there with the grandpa, that should get you packed up right there. That's.
material was actually
Nasty,
nothing
yeah.
new to the world of Life with Grandpa.
I mean, it wouldn't be nasty if it was a adult television show like fucking like Family Guy or something, and they made like a song like that, and they like did that with a woman or something. Like Family Guy, you know, an adult family TV show or something. But you did it on a kid's show, strictly for kids, no adults watching it at all. That's crazy, mud. It's crazy.
Predating the puppets, there was a little-known illustrated book
Not even
series
Family
called
Guy though. 'Cause
Life
kids do be watching Family Guy. Let me not even say Family Guy. What's some like Big Mouth, something like Big Mouth or something. They
of
do
Grandpa,
those in Big Mouth.
with the show practically being a shot-for-shot remake of this book series, featuring the same exact characters and stories. And much like the show, the series was also a religious guide created for children. In its pages, you'll find themes about morality and lessons made to guide you towards a proper way of living through this religion. But these books also had a very apparent dark side. One far worse than the show would
But that's what I say. If you wait, if he finished it, wait.
Predating the puppets, there was a little-known illustrated book series called Life of Grandpa. It's literally made for toddlers and young children.
Okay.
Featuring the same exact characters and stories. And much like the show, the series was also a religious guide created for
But
children.
my bad, y'all. I was just trying to see what was going on. My bad, y'all. I think I was messing up.
In its pages, you'll find themes about morality and lessons made to guide you towards a proper way of living through this religion. But these books also had a very apparent dark side. One far worse than the show it inspired. In the chapter Real Fathers, we're shown a scene where Techi and Davidito question why they have two different skin colors, despite them being siblings, as Techi noticed that Davidito's skin appeared light brown, while hers was almost pure white, to which Grandpa then explains to them how his wife and their mother had slept with other men. See, God used Timothy and Carlos only to fuck Mama so that I could have you both. They were just like an instrument or tool that Jesus used to help create you wonderful little children for his kingdom. Praise the Lord. This was followed by an in-depth explanation of what that scene looked like, including images depicting the act. Examples like this are prevalent all throughout the pages of Life
This is like did I say corn? You know, the stuff that you eat. Y'all know what I'm trying to say.
with Grandpa, with erotic material being shown constantly with no regard as to how inappropriate this is to be showing kids, which begs the obvious
Showing
question.
kids.
Why?
The fuck you mean? No, not why. How? How did you get this off? Who did you show this to? What connections do you have? Who published? Like, what do you mean? What? I was not even gonna say that. I was gonna say why are they showing this to kid at first, but I thought it was gonna look stupid because I'm like, bro, there's no way. You talking about they doing all this? They showing the. I'm thinking this is an adult like version of the story or something like that. I'm like, what the fuck is they? What do you mean this is for kids, bro? What are y'all having super live? Niggas dumb as shit, yo.
Why was Life with Grandpa so blatantly perverted? Well, the answer lies with the author of the books and the reason for the show's existence, David Berg.
He shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet. And
Yeah, he sounds like a menace. I don't even want to learn about this nigga. I'm not even gonna hold you, bro. Like, bro, this dude sounds like a menace, bro. I don't even like his. Is that his voice?
gather together his elect. That's when Jesus is going to come back to rapture his saints, to gather them together.
Born in 1919, David grew up a devout believer in Christianity, but wanted something more from the religion. He dreamed of one day starting his own group with his own teachings, and in 1968, at the ripe age of 50, he decided it was time to do just that. The group began in Huntington Beach, California, and went by many names over the years, like Teens for Christ, the Children of God, the Family of Love, the Family International, or just the Family. But regardless of its name, there was no denying what this group was. A cult. A cult led by David Berg. Berg would find young hippies and those struggling with drug addiction and mental health issues, and convince them to join his group by stating that the end of the world was coming soon, and that they needed to follow in his path and join his family to save their souls. It was pretty standard cult ideology, but at the time it was extremely effective, with the sect amassing a staggering 10,000 members at its peak. And
Yeah, it's just I don't be understanding it somehow. I mean, I guess it's like back then they didn't have as much knowledge. I even say that, but like it still scams to this day that people fall for that were just like, how do you fall for that? You know what I mean? But it's just, I don't know, man.
at first, David got by with fairly standard teachings from the Bible, although this wouldn't last. After some time, Berg began addressing his followers via frequent illustrated messages called Mo letters that featured his ramblings and teachings from the time, with Berg slowly ingraining into his members that the contents of these letters should be taken as seriously, if not more so, than the Bible. In one of these letters sent out in 1972, Berg claimed that God was going to destroy the United States and that the group needed to flee the country immediately, with Berg demanding that his followers spread out all across the globe and open up communal homes where members could live as one, far away from the public eye. As a
We
result,
get the bread for this.
many members packed up their things and left.
Don't that take like bad budget to house people like that? Hey y'all, it's just with a battery saver, bro. It's good. It's good.
Up their things and left right away, leading to roughly 130 communities being established across 70 different countries, essentially overnight. This mass migration had an extremely significant impact on the family, as it left practically the entire group outside of the United States, and more importantly, outside of the United States jurisdiction, meaning that Berg could now get away with far more than he used to. And unsurprisingly, this is where he began to tighten his control.
Imagine being able to build
Okay, I'm
anything
like, okay.
just by thinking about it.
This is
Meet
definitely
Base
Big
44.
Dark. I'm just saying, he was doing the build
Surprisingly,
up.
this is where he began to tighten his control. The full-time members were made to give up all of their earthly possessions to the group and cease all contact with their family and friends who were non-believers, cutting them off from the outside world completely. And these restrictions also applied to the media they consumed.
I decided I would limit how much I would watch the TV. Cause now I've got the answer. It's the slave. I'm the master. It no longer has a spell on me.
In his teachings, Berg denounced all forms of entertainment made outside of the cult, since he believed that this would poison the minds of his members and potentially sway them into leaving the group.
Is that not his television show?
And so, instead, he insisted that his followers only consume media that was produced directly by the family, with these works often being created by Berg himself or the other followers he
okay.
enlisted,
He just answered my question. All right.
and then shipped directly to the members' homes, leading to hundreds, if not thousands of videos, movies, and TV shows being produced and shared among the family. But for Berg, this wasn't just about providing entertainment. It was really all about controlling the minds of his group, and even more importantly, indoctrination, with his primary targets being children. From birth, most kids were not shown any media other than what the cult gave their parents, with these works quite literally shaping their minds into following everything that the cult believed in without question. The main themes of these were usually things like always be happy,
More than 70 little muscles form a frowny face.
But only 14 muscles put a smile in its place on your face.
always show love, and never, under any circumstances, question your parents.
Always best to do it 'cause Daddy said so. Do it 'cause Daddy said so. Do it 'cause Daddy said so. Trust, obey, and do it 'cause Daddy said so. Do it 'cause Daddy said so. Because Daddy knows best.
And Life with Grandpa was no exception, as it too was created by the family in order to instill their beliefs into its child viewers. With the line trust and obey being hammered home time and time again, as those creating the programs didn't want their kids questioning any of the practices, and so they were teaching them to simply smile along and trust the adults. But because the group was the one producing and distributing the content, they basically had no regulations placed on them, meaning that they could include whatever they want in these shows without any repercussions, leading to many of the showrunners exploring some of the group's more controversial beliefs. Which becomes extremely troublesome when you realize that the family wasn't just your standard cult, and instead, it was a sex cult.
What? With the adults?
When you think of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, what are you thinking about? You think about a beautiful naked man and a beautiful naked woman. And what is the first thing that a beautiful naked man and a beautiful naked woman would, of course, naturally do as soon as they saw each other and nobody else around? I think just one look was all it took.
David Berg was a deeply perverted man. The idea of sex consumed him and seeped its way into essentially all of his teachings.
I think Adam and Eve are over there in those bushes right now, busy making not pina colada. I think they're making some other kind of juices.
And once his followers were outside of the US, he began to preach something he called the law of love, which essentially said that the family should be showing all people love, and that love should come in the form of sex.
I practice what I preach, and I preach sex, boys and girls, hallelujah.
And so he told his followers to open up their relationships to outsiders, calling the practice sharing, as you were made to share your partner in the hopes of enticing new people to join the group. But he wasn't satisfied with just this, and instead he began to mandate that the women of the group participate in something he called flirty fishing. Also known as FF, flirty fishing describes the practice of women going into bars at night in order to pick up lonely men, who they would then entertain for the night. The goal of this was to convince these men to join the family, though more realistically, the goal was also to make money, as they were made to charge for their services, with the women being told to seek lonely businessmen. And this is something that Berg not only pushed heavily, but outright mandated, insisting that every woman in the group do this or face being removed from the family, even those who were married. And Berg was so serious about this that he sent every colony report forms so that they could report how much flirty fishing was being done, in order to
Damn, what the fuck? This nigga's a pimp?
check their statistics and make sure that they were up to par. Understandably, many women of the group were concerned by this and wanted nothing to do with it. However, most
personally, I think it's better than the verse. I mean, it's horrible and all, but I'm saying, though, what I thought was happening is better than what I thought was happening. It's still horrible, though. I'm not saying it's any better, though. I'm just saying it's worse than I thought was happening. Because when I heard the sex stuff and they was talking about the children and all that, I was like, what the freak, bro? But okay, that's at least it's like it's not even no at least though, because it's just like the shit's still bad. You feel me? It's still horrible.
them had moved all the way across the world
like,
and sacrificed all of their
children.
belongings to be in this group, meaning that their removal would leave them with nothing. They were trapped. Simply put, Berg was forcing the women of the group into prostitution, and he was shameless about it too, calling them God's whores and Christ's hookers. The worst of all, Berg knew that flirty fishing could put these women in grave danger, as he admitted to them that violent assaults were going to happen, but he said that if you want to live, simply don't resist. And if you do get hurt or even killed, that's entirely your fault, as after all, it was God's will. And this was on top of a myriad of other horrific things that Berg said that I can't even repeat here. But the man saying all of these horrific things was the same man who wrote Life with Grandpa, and he used this medium to normalize his sex cult's beliefs for the children watching, which gives more context as to why women were portrayed in the way they were in these books and the show, as Life with Grandpa was breaking down the young girls watching and grooming them for a life of prostitution that they were made to accept without question.
Trust and obey, for there's no other way. Trust and obey.
Though the show wasn't only for preparing the kids for the perverse lifestyles they were headed for, and instead, they were already becoming well accustomed to it. Throughout his Mo letters, Berg also began to preach that children should be involved in these affairs and sharing as well.
No, bro, I just said, bro, no. What the fuck? What, bro? What the? There's no way. There's no way. What do you mean by that, bro? What could you possibly mean by that, bro? Come on, man. He's clickbaiting. He's clickbaiting. Not even clickbaiting. He's
stating that he believed age should have nothing to do with it.
What?
In fact, he believed that children should be taught about this lifestyle essentially as soon as they're born. And although, again, I can't read his exact words on this, Berg had declared open season on pedophilia, and much like flirty fishing, it was mandatory. The abuse that followed is unimaginable, at a scale far too large to fully know to this day. Abuse that the parents of the children not only allowed, but often participated in, with one of the more notorious large-scale accounts coming from something that the group called the Love Video. This movie was a result of Berg sending out requests to all of the parents to send him lewd videos of their children dancing, which he not only took for himself, but packaged together into a long-form compilation video that was then distributed to all of the cult's members, encouraging the others to film similar content, with Berg going as far as creating a guide to help create the perfect video. And not only did many parents go along with this, but many clearly enjoyed it.
Keita shared with us the video that just came from World Services, and it was so inspiring. It was so beautiful. The love video.
And for this couple specifically, this wasn't the only order that they were happily following.
And it was really a blessing, too, for Joe and Hobo, because they had a good chance to share also with Sally. Amen. And so the Lord's really setting us freer and freer to obey and to be free and to show that sample of freedom and love to the world.
If you're struggling with depression and
they
not
keep
feeling the
using that
confident
obey
peace
word.
that
It's
you
a
need,
heavy word.
I invite you to meet with missionaries like me.
Freer.
Alright, y'all. I think we're gonna stop here. We're gonna stop here and then we're gonna get back into it tomorrow. Part 2 tomorrow. Yeah. This is definitely a crazy video, man. I knew this was coming. I knew it was coming. I knew it was too big to be true. I thought about it and I was like, oh my goodness, he didn't do it. We dodged a bullet. He's like, even though it was something bad, he was doing it with grown-ups. But then he pulled in the children, bro. But I'll see y'all next video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, man. And peace out, y'all.